So this is Professor Dave Farina. He goes by Professor Dave Explains on YouTube, and I would like to invite him to have a debate slash discussion on circumcision and the men's rights movement. I'm a fan of his physics videos. He does videos about physics and chemistry and science, but I had a very disappointing exchange in his comment section where he is against the men's rights movement, but even more disappointingly, he defends circumcision and he doesn't think that circumcision is mutilation. And as a man of science, I have to say I'm very disappointed that he doesn't understand the basics that if you cut off healthy erogenous tissue, you're going to cause physical damage. So I would like to invite you, Professor Dave, for a discussion. I won't even call it a debate on circumcision. But let's take a look at the comment section that I'm talking about. Okay, so here's our comment exchange. It's not very long. I'll read it out to you. I say, you can see at the top, Professor Dave, I'm a men's rights activist. Just wondering if you have any experience with the men's movement. Love your science vids. Blue. Professor Dave replies, I'm very skeptical of the legitimacy of advocacy towards any group who has never had their rights limited in any way. To which I reply, well, I would have to dispute you on that premise. Objectively, men have had rights limited on numerous occasions. I made a typo. Would you care to do a video debate about it? To which Professor Dave replies, no, not really, since this is just an infantile pushback against legitimate civil rights movements, and I don't care about it at all. To which I reply, that's not accurate at all, man. MRAs are against circumcision, want to address boys' education gap, male victims of domestic violence, the sentencing gap, the life expectancy gap. I think you have a very wrong idea of who MRAs are and what we want. And we're largely pro-LGBTQ and very much anti-racist, for what it's worth. So, right there, we can see that Professor Dave really misunderstands the men's rights movement. And when he says that men haven't had their rights infringed upon at all, it really shows me that he just doesn't know about this topic. And it's really kind of disappointing that people are still so far behind the curve when it comes to looking at the modern day situation of gender equality. But I'm not going to push him to debate on the men's rights movement. He says he doesn't want to do it, so he doesn't want to do it. But what disappoints me the most is what he has to say about circumcision, and that's here. So the exchange continues, and go to the second comment because the top comment is the one I just read. I say, in response to when he says the men's rights movement is infantile, which is such an ignorant and uneducated understanding of what the men's rights movement is and what men's issues are. I mean, it really does show ignorance about it, but I'm going to move on from that. I say, it's true though. It is infants having their genitals mutilated at birth. So in that sense, infantile is accurate. And here's where he replies, basically saying circumcision is no big deal and not mutilation. He says, yawn. No, it isn't. There are medical benefits to circumcision, and it can be declined. Sorry, male victims of domestic violence? Is there anyone advocating for violence against men? What proportion of domestic violence is against men? This is idiotic. It's just ultra-privileged whining, but what about me? When other people are trying to get what they've already had for millennia. Just stop. So I'm not sure it's worth commenting on his sheer ignorance when it comes to issues like domestic violence against men, or how it's just whining, what about me, when other people haven't had these things for millennia. I mean, he shows such a lack of understanding of men's issues and what the men's rights movement is about. But what really bothers me is he's someone with a scientific background and he just yawns at circumcision and he doesn't think it's mutilation. He doesn't understand how slicing off healthy erogenous tissue is mutilation. And that's what I want to debate you on, Dave. If you want, let's have a live stream debate. We can do it on your channel. We can do it on my channel. We can do it on any moderated channel you want. Let's debate the premise that routine infant circumcision is mutilation, which it is. And almost the entire world disagrees with you, by the way. And most medical bodies in most developed countries do not recommend circumcision. So what you're saying is a very Amerocentric view about something that's extremely outdated and extremely harmful. So let me know what you want to do about this, because this was very, very disappointing. You make very good videos when it comes to physics, and it's shocking to me that you don't understand the basic premise. If you slice off nerve endings, you lose the sensations that those nerve endings give you. This is just basic logic, and as a physicist and a chemist, you should really understand this. And we had an email exchange, which I'm not going to share because it's private, but more or less, it confirms that he does not think circumcision is mutilation, and he does not think that circumcision is a big deal. And as you saw in the comment, he defended it by saying there are health benefits. So let's have that debate if you want.